Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to lose a game with one simple mistake. And in this case, we are using a game from the Last Chance Qualifiers Wildcard versus Team Liquid. And I think it's important before we get into the game that we look at the graph and show that you're going to maybe think that Wildcard lost the game at 22 minutes approximately. But what I'm going to tell you is they actually lost the game at 17 minutes. And I'm going to hopefully teach all of you, not just the individual on Wildcard that made the mistake, but how this is a team vision and how this is something you can hopefully prevent in your pubs. And if the opponent makes the same mistake, you can also instantly win the game, just like Liquid did here. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
Banana Slam Jam.
So it's important to note that at 17 minutes, where we have the game paused, even though the kill score is 16-7, the net worth is almost dead even, and the game ends up ending GG at 26 minutes. And so this is something that you wouldn't really expect in a game that's this close. This is usually a timely ending you expect when one team stomps the early game. But sometimes, if a mistake is catastrophic enough, the map will snowball out of control, and then the game just gets out of hand before you know it. So let's go ahead and load up the clip to see exactly what Wildcard does at 17 minutes. So what's happening is Liquid is pushing tier 2 bottom, and Wildcard is using Naga illusions to push mid, and Naga is farming the entire enemy jungle right here. So what we're effectively seeing is that Lina's getting her BKB. So Wildcard's thinking we have a timing, we have two people respawning, Lina's getting her BKB. But what I want you guys to really understand about this paused moment in the game is that both teams are about equal on net worth, and both of them are farming and controlling half the map. Liquid is making sure they've cut mid most of the game, with Invoker in this case. Wild Naga is the farming mid for Wildcard. And then Wildcard is farming top lane, and Liquid is farming bottom. So what this means is that at the current state of the map, it is perfectly even if Liquid is getting a tower. So while we tend to think that objectives are very important in Dota, I think they can be a bait where teams will tend to overreact, especially in pubs where you're not in a coordinated setting, in order to defend these towers. But what most matters about map objectives is that you control certain areas. And so if you sacrifice control of an area you have in exchange for trying to defend a tower, it can lead to a game having a swift ending. So let's go ahead and check out exactly what happens. So as you see here, Lina's going to get his BKB, and he's going to TP in. The tower's already going to go down, so even though they didn't defend the tower, Wildcard thinks that this is a fight they should take. So Lina has his BKB, Naga's TPing in, the rest of Wildcard is here. And Liquid's even starting to disperse. Like, they don't expect this fight to happen. And Invoker's not quite here yet. So Lina's going to pop his BKB, they're going to use Global. They're even going to eventually bring down the Tumbaman on the carry punch. And when you look at the results of this fight, it actually doesn't look that bad. Because Wildcard, even though they lost 3 for 2, they did bring down the #1 net worth Pudge. And the graph actually says that this fight benefited them. But I think this is a total bait. And the reason why that this is a total bait is we have to compare the map before and after this team fight. So basically Wildcard, because they TP'd both cores who were farming this area down to this side of the map, it is now nearly impossible for them to get from this side of the map back to this side of the map in any timely manner. So what that means is that Liquid, who already controls this area, can now simply TP one hero top to push this out, which means they now effectively control this lane as well, and then quickly make a move to prevent Wildcard from ever taking this area back. Now, Wildcard's left with two options when they respawn. They can try to take this area from Liquid, which is going to be quite difficult because Liquid has a bunch of wards on it, and they're already there. Or they can try to get the area that they already had back. But Liquid's going to shut this down immediately, right? They're going to make the perfect play that you should be looking to make if you're against enemies that make the same mistake. If you're seeing enemies TP from your own safe lane to their own safe lane to take a fight, you proceed to win the fight or even draw even, this is exactly what you should do, what you're about to watch Liquid do. So what they're going to do is Nyx Assassin's going to respawn. He's going to TP here. This is crucial, because this is going to set up Liquid to have nothing else that they have to do. So Nyx is clearing this lane, Invoker's clearing this lane, and then this lane's already like a stalemate for both teams. That's going to allow Liquid to basically cloak this smoke. It's basically preventing Wildcard from knowing where anybody on Liquid is. And you're even seeing Wildcard, Sammy boy here, drawing an arrow saying, let's control this area. But Liquid, they're making the right move. Now, if Wildcard were to go bottom, like this, Liquid would get an absolutely free Roshan. So even though it's probably better than what we're about to watch, that idea is not ideal either. So they're going to smoke in, and Wildcard, who's trying to get this area back up here, is going to lose the Naga to a smoke gang from Liquid. Liquid's then going to control the entire map. As you can see, Wildcard is now stuck in their base entirely. If we compare the before and after, it was literally a pizza slice 50-50 down the middle. This lane divided what each team controlled. But now, Wildcard is stuck only in their base, if we draw a line on the map, while Liquid has complete free reign of anywhere that they want to go. This net worth lead, which was dead even, is now going to turn into a 5k lead 2 minutes later, right? And Liquid's now knocking at their door. And the reason why this is so crucial is because what makes Dota difficult for you to group up around towers is the split push pressure that you have on the opposite side of the map. The idea is both teams are pressuring lanes. And what we're emphasizing about this teamfight bottom, to prevent you guys from making the same mistake, is that if you require the cores who are controlling this area on your team, whether it's the carry, the mid, even the offlaner, to TP down here, what I'm basically telling you is if you're not like clean wiping the opponent, like you are getting like a 5-for-2, 4-for-1, heavily favored fight for yourselves, that this is a game-losing decision to TP these cores into the fight. And while it may seem like a hero-specific thing, maybe Naga isn't ready to fight an Axe Pudge, there's all types of variables that you could consider. But by surrendering control of this part of the map, you are effectively giving it all to the enemy. So there's a little bit of knowledge to know for everybody. We used to call this a BSJ TP because as a carry, you're basically surrendering your control, your farming area. We're looking at a new minute, right? He could be farming all of these camps and mid and top wave. But it's not just a carry player mistake. I do believe as a carry player, you get dragged into fighting with your teammates all the time in situations like this. And I have been trying to encourage carry players to make sure that they don't TP in these type of circumstances, because it really is an all-in play. But I also want you guys that are in other roles who are thinking about calling fights, that if you're taking a fight that fits this description, don't go into it expecting your carry to TP. Don't take a fight that you think the carry has to be a part of for you to win. It's like if you're starting to win the fight and maybe the carry can TP in and get some cleanup kills, that's a bit different. But if you think our carry has to TP at the start of this fight in order to win it, then it is simply not a good fight. Okay, so if you're ever looking to take a fight on the part of the map the opponent controls, and you're having to surrender the part of the map that you control, be very careful about this decision. Consider using a smoke, and it's better to simply lose the tower and cut your losses than it is to double down on a lost hand. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Keep up with the TI meta here at the BSJ channel. I will be constantly updating with little clips from games like this that can hopefully teach you guys some great lessons. See you guys next time.